lived, lived.
Good afternoon, world. It is moments past noon in Waxahachie, Texas, and today is June 16th. We're halfway through this month, and as we know, when we get to this month, we're halfway through the
Here.
nice job. And it's episode 150. We're halfway to 300, and as promised, although we had cakes for 50 and 100, we're doing nothing for 150. But as for 250, I have started to get a little 250 wardrobe put together. And I'm still short on the hat part, but I do have 5 shirts, and this is numero uno. We're broadcasting live from the palatial studios we have here in downtown Waxahachie in the shadows of the Ellis County Courthouse. Could not be a more peaceful downtown in America, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what you think, but that's
Yeah.
how I feel. And I'm your co-host, Jeff Lynch, and capably, ably, readily, steadily manning the board is our man, Sammy Brooks. And to my right is my partner, your friend, our friend, man about town,
Thank you, bud.
Scott Brooks.
Thank you. Thank you. Sammy, that thing you normally say on here is not on here, in case you needed to know. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us again on this beautiful Tuesday. Jeff just said it's peaceful out there. It is. It actually feels pretty good.
But I'll tell you what, if you're doing any kind of work, I worked a major lather up trimming
Yeah.
bushes this morning, but I came in to read and said, I haven't worked a lather in so long. I love working a lather.
Yeah, I get that for sure. But today is exactly, well, it could be one day off,
What do you got?
half of the year. It's
Half of the year.
so yeah, so 6 months, 5 months, and 15 days. Is that what we got? So it's almost exactly halfway through the year. Or
I'm,
six.
I'm
If
questioning
you
that.
said half of the year would be June 1st, it wouldn't be. It would be middle of June, wouldn't it?
Well, they've got different. Well, here's the deal. I never read this on Today in History. Today in History, June 16th, is the 167th day, and there's 198 left.
No. Oh, 198 left.
So, so
Not,
that would that
that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, what
yeah,
do I
that
know?
doesn't get us there.
But anyway, thank you for being here. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday, noon to 1 o'clock, as you know, on Central Standard Time. We have lots of people from all across the country that watch us, which we're grateful for. Our audience has continued to grow, and we're pleased about that. For those of you that want to get more, which we have a whole lot more content than we can fit into an hour show. So we provide that content on Substack.com. If you just go to Substack, spell it like it sounds.com, search Grit and Good News, you'll find us there for $5 a month. You get tons of content from all three of us, and we're excited about that. And so, just this past week, since Thursday's show, a number of people signed up for our Grit and Good News newsletter. You get a newsletter Monday morning before you wake up and Friday morning before you wake up every single week, and that's all new, fresh content. So
And you better get
check
your
that out.
phone on silent because it can surprise you at 5:05, and it may really
Oh
surprise
yeah,
and
yeah,
possibly
yeah.
upset a
So you'll
sleeping
get it.
partner you might
Yeah.
have.
If you get notifications, you may want to pause them. But So thank you for being here. We've got a ton, more than usual, which is usual is pretty much tons of things to talk about it. Today we've got a lot of things, maybe a little bit more than a ton of things to talk about. We're going to start with our number 50, which Sammy takes the last two digits of our number, the forecast number, not forecast, episode number of the show, which Jeff just told you is 150. Sammy went out and found the number 50 across all major sports. So let's start. We always start with football.
Sammy,
Yes,
are we
but
starting to load it up with?
What?
Go
What?
ahead.
I was going to say before we start, Tammy said half the year would be July 2nd.
Oh, well, look at
Okay.
there. Aren't you smart?
Thank you for
Yeah, Tammy.
supporting me, Tammy.
Tammy's a sweetheart. And anyway, so
Sammy, are we getting into linebacker numbers now?
Yes, we are
yeah,
number
so Mike
50.
Singletary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry Gordon,
I don't know Larry Gordon from Barry Gordon.
Jim Ryan,
I don't know Jim Ryan from Nolan Ryan.
Vita Vea.
Huh?
You don't know who Vita Vea is?
Vita Vea?
He's a very good
Who's he
defense
play for?
for the Buccaneers. That big dude.
Oh,
Um,
that dude.
but you know one for the Cowboys.
Oh, Van Eschel or Van Schu. What was his name, dude? Van?
Sean Lee.
Sean Lee. That's
Oh,
what I'm looking
yeah.
Sean
for.
Lee.
You're thinking of Vander Eich.
Yeah, he was number
And
55, I
yeah,
think.
you know what
Sean
those
Lee
guys
injured every other plays like Anthony Davis.
and Vander Esch too. Those guys, they just
Always injured.
always
And
injured.
they're out of the league.
Who played with more heart than either of those guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right, who else, Sam?
NBA. That's it. That's it for NFL.
NBA, I don't know anybody. Oh, no, that was number 55, the white guy that Jason Williams wore 55.
Mhm.
Number 50,
I
I
have
don't know.
3.
Who? You
I'll
have 3?
I'll start with Ralph Sampson. He was the number 1 pick in '83. And then I'll go
North
to
Carolina?
No, Virginia.
Zach Randolph,
Yeah.
bully ball, and then one of the best centers ever, David Robinson
Oh, yeah, that's right.
for the Spurs.
We got to talk.
The Admiral.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah, he was a great player. So, all right.
MLB
MLB.
was a good
Well,
50.
it's not Mookie Betts, right?
Yeah.
Ichiro wore 51.
I have some pitchers on here. I have Adam Wainwright,
Yeah, okay.
Jamie Moyer,
Yeah,
Rangers.
old time player.
Sid Fernandez,
Yeah.
wore 50 for the 50th state, Hawaii. J.R. Richard for the Astros.
You know, J.R. Richard, he was before your
Did
time,
he have
but
a
he had stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could throw the ball a
He
million
had
miles
the
an hour.
heat. He had the heat.
All right.
NHL. I'm guessing you don't know, so I'll start with Corey Crawford, goalie for the Blackhawks. He wore
Okay.
50 for the Blackhawks. Jordan Bennington for the St. Louis Blues.
Goalie.
Yeah,
Also, also
goalie.
was in the Foreign Nations.
Anton Vermette for the Ducks. Jonas Gustafsson
Yeah, good, Sam.
for the Oilers, and Chris Mason, multiple teams.
All right, and then is that all 4?
That's it.
That was all 4. Yeah. So we're starting to get into the more recognizable numbers, at least in one or two of the sports. We're getting into where there won't be much baseball. There'll be plenty of football. There'll be plenty, maybe I don't know about plenty of hockey, but no baseball, no
NBA is
basketball. Yeah.
And you know, when we started this was at 40. Earlier than that.
Anyway, so there you have it. Episode 150, numbers of notable people that wore number 50. NBA Finals. So let's talk about it for just a minute. I have said for a long time, whether it be at the local level, a high school coach, tiddlywinks, or at the NFL, NBA, if you're up by whatever the equivalent is, I don't know what being up in basketball, being up 29 points would equal to being up in, the severity of it being up in baseball, what, 10-0? I don't know. And you end up losing. I mean, I get it more about in a baseball situation, but I do not get losing a game when you're up 29 points in basketball, NBA, or any level, or when you're up 28-3 in the NFL. I don't get why that happens. In this case, the Spurs in that game, and then in the other night's game. Just, I mean, they couldn't close the deal.
It was like the whole series. The Spurs would have started out 15-point lead in the first quarter, start off the game hot, and then like Jalen Brunson said, the Knicks don't show up until 30 minutes later, and then the Knicks would win.
I have a great expression. I think it's great. People tell me they like it. In all sports, you know what's the number one reason teams lose? That they're just not good enough.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah,
thing.
and that's the deal.
That's the thing about the Spurs, though. The Spurs are good enough. They proved it in game
Evidently not.
3. They actually proved it in game 2. They proved it in game 3. And one of those games they lost, one of those games they won. So the Spurs, when you're up 29 points, they're good enough.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, and I don't. This coach is young, new on the scene. He took a beating because of what happened in game. What was that? 4 or 5? 4. When they were up 29 and lost, they contributed to that, as we talked about last week. Shooting 8 3-pointers in a row when you're up 29 points is about as stupid as the day is long. And yet it happened again in game 5.
So my man, Hockey Jeff, text whipped me. That's a new expression I just made up. He text whipped me the other day saying, you talked about basketball and you didn't use our favorite phrase in a game where over 200 points are scored. What basket mattered?
Yeah.
Okay. And it still applies.
Yeah, I just the whole point for me is when any coach at any level is up by that much, there is no way you should lose ever.
You should find ways to take time off the clock.
Yeah, time off
That's
the clock. It's hard to do that in a 24-second. But there are ways to do it. There are ways to get 20 seconds out of every time you have the ball. There are
Right.
ways to take only not guaranteed, but smart shots. Do not get into a race with these guys. Be very methodical, play great defense, make it hard for them. In other words, do what you did in the first half.
Let me ask you this. In the time clock, if I've got the ball and I throw at a guy's leg and it goes out of bounds, do I get fresh seconds?
If he kicks it, it goes to 14 seconds.
14.
If you're below that,
Okay.
the most it will go to is 14. Now, if you threw it off his legs and it goes out of bounds, but he didn't try to kick it, you did it, then it's dead where it is, and the clock stays where it is.
Okay. I'm just thinking of
Yeah.
cheaty ways to get there.
Yeah, I think the way to do it is just to say, hey, here's how our game is going to change when we're up 29 points.
Yeah.
And then, frankly, maybe it doesn't need to change. If you're up 29, keep doing it. But the Spurs just started getting into it when they went on their run. Every team will go on a run in every game. Both teams will, and you can either contribute to their run or you defeat their run. And the Knicks, the Spurs contributed to that run every time.
How about this? Can you? And I don't see people doing it. Maybe it's because you can't. What about at the free throw line, firing that ball at the backboard and bouncing way back at you? There's nothing
Well,
illegal
it
about
has
that.
to hit the rim.
It has to hit the rim.
Yeah. That's why. Otherwise,
Okay.
that's what people would be doing all the time. They would figure out how to angle it off the backboard or all kinds of tricks, but it has to hit the rim. So you'll see players shoot it way up
Yeah.
so that it comes down hard and hits the back of the rim, and it's a better chance of getting a rebound. But you can't just throw it.
And when they line the guys up, when I'm shooting, the two guys closest are both the opponents or one on each side of each.
There would be the first guy down low would be the opponent, then your team, then the opponent.
So there's two opponents.
And then the other side, the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just think it's.
What is your thoughts on the Spurs just walking out game 5, not shaking hands?
Yeah, I thought it was a little classless.
I
mean,
lost a lot.
Wemby could have done better.
Yeah,
Wemby didn't need.
I
to
didn't
run off.
like Wemby did not have a good series, and he always talks like he's so smart and sits there and thinks about what he's saying
Well,
and
he
all
came out
that.
afterwards. Yesterday I think it was, or the day before, and said we're a better team. We beat the Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
now
gotta
you're
give
dumb.
you gotta
All
give
right.
respect.
That's enough
They're
hoops.
one team. I mean, one player. I think away from being the kind of great team they want to be. All right, so we got that. We got NHL Finals. I mean, I wanted to see. Well, I don't know who I wanted to see. I kind of like Rod Brindamore. I like seeing Jordan Stahl play well. Carolina Hurricanes just a stud hockey team.
Usually Vegas
plain
head
and simple.
coach is not coming back.
John
is that official?
Tortorella. Yeah, he was a hired gun.
Yeah, he was a rent a coach.
So we have that. So my wife is very happy that NBA and NHL are completely over. I said, honey, you don't have to worry about anything else.
World Cup.
So
World
World Cup we got going
Cup.
on. So tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, maybe today, but I think it's tomorrow. England plays Croatia at Jerry World.
Oh,
And then Friday, the Americans, bless you, the Americans play
Australia.
Australia, but I think, oh, they're playing in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've watched some of the World Cup. It is what it is. As I said in our last, I don't know if I said it after the show, but it's that old thing. If I wanted to see 10 guys, uh, mess around for 2.5 hours and not score, I'd go to the local bar. But in this case, it, I don't know if I don't know what makes me say, okay, I can stomach a game that I don't particularly want to stomach any other time, but I can stomach it for I don't know if it's that or just the pageantry of seeing these fans and the hoopla
I think it's
and
just a fight for your country that I love.
what,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? I meant to. Matter of fact, when Jeff and I start talking, Sammy, if you could look for Dan and Shay national anthem.
Okay.
I may send it to you. I can text it to you. But
You know that
it is the best rendition of the uh, national anthem I've ever heard sung, and it was at one of the World Cup,
in
our World Cup game,
double
Paraguay.
check. I think they did it at the Winter Classic at the Cotton Bowl.
Well, they were excellent. College World Series is ongoing. It's another spectacle. I love it. Very happy that Alabama made the World Series Final Eight this year. There are 5 of the 8 are SEC teams. So Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, Ole Miss, it's gone home. So two teams have gone home. One of them is Ole Miss. The other is Alabama. So we lost 2 games. Collectively, the score was 23-2. So we lost 9-0 the other night, and we lost yesterday afternoon 14-2. So
Yeah.
it's almost like San Antonio getting to the final. We got there. Now we'll just get better.
Yeah.
We got a great coach. Baseball program's rarely been very good at Bama, but now we're better. U.S. Open this week starts Thursday at Shinnecock Hills, which is just outside of New York City. So
That's
no,
tennis.
it's golf. So
That is what they call it in tennis also.
yeah, yeah, you have to differentiate. But I saw Bryson DeChambeau in a video say, "Check out this rough," and he dropped the ball. Of course, you can't see it. He then went to try to hit it, and it went about 10 feet. So don't hit it in the rough, Bryson.
And that tells you one thing. Bryson isn't gonna win it
Well,
because
yeah.
you know what they say, the woods are full of big hitters.
Well, to win to wrap up what do you call it when they win them all 4 of them? Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I think Scotty Scheffler has to win the U.S. Open. So I'm actually going to put I don't bet it, but other than our little pool, but if we do it, but I'm picking Scheffler.
He's my pick too.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. All right. Let's see what else I wanted to say in our updates. I think that's it. Tarnations. All right. We got the world's first trillionaire. SpaceX had an IPO that opened last Thursday or Friday. I went and looked. I think it opened at
150.
134.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
135.
and then when I looked at 135, when I was looking at it, uh, just to see what it would take to buy it, and this was probably midday, it was 175. I don't know what it is today.
Yeah, and I thought I heard though that it had got back down
Yeah.
to around 120.
Yeah, you have to be careful of IPOs,
Yeah.
not that I'm any expert, but it looks good at first. You hear about it, see Elon Musk, SpaceX, buy, but then it will settle back down. But he's the first trillionaire, and of course the left's going after him for being the world's first trillionaire. I just don't get it, but we're not going to bore you with that nonsense. Sammy, are we on right there on that second
We should be.
phone? I don't know what it's doing, but check it. See? Oh, there's.
I started it and then it ended. There we
All
go.
right. So it's welcome to you guys on what's that, Instagram?
Mhm.
Welcome. Sorry you got cut off there, but so we're not going to bore you with the left's reaction to trillionaire. It just blows my mind. But what I told Sammy yesterday, I said Elon Musk could buy every franchise in the NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, and did I say NHL? All four major sports. He could buy every franchise without just open up his wallet and say, "Here you go, I'll buy them all."
You know,
I'd take him over Patrick Dumont. I'll tell you that right now. He come over here to Dallas.
yeah, and now that the Doge days are mostly behind us, I haven't heard of a Tesla dealership burning in a
Well,
long time.
there was a car that got burned the other day in response to that trillionaire stuff. I think in response to some of the UFC stuff. But there were a couple of Teslas caught on fire. I can't remember what
Yeah,
city,
but not
but
whole
nothing like we
dealerships
saw
anymore. Yeah.
before. Yeah. But anyway, so there you have it. More power to Elon Musk. I hope my hope is that he has a relationship with the Lord. But he's the first trillionaire. UFC at the White House. What'd y'all think? Sammy didn't watch it. You didn't
Yeah,
watch it.
I mean, I
You
saw
watched it?
clips. I didn't watch it, but I saw
Sonia and
clips.
I, we love that stuff. We watched all of it. We were out and we got home and watched all of it when we got home about 7:30, something like that. It was every fight was a TKO, ended in TKO. The main event, which is is it Justin or Dustin Gaeth G is how you say his name. He's an American fighting Ilya something or another stud, a little guy from I think it's from the Middle East. He was the world champ, and Gaeth G has been around for a long time. He was a 6-1 underdog, and he pummeled until the fourth round when they had to call the fight because the world champ who lost could not see. I mean, his face was literally like he had just been bashed.
I imagine that.
It was brutal.
What was the old expression about boxing? Did they used to call it the sport of kings or the sport
I
of
think so.
something like that? Here's and I used to be a moderate boxing fan, and boxing has its rules and its regulations. And to me, this mixed martial arts, that whole world, it's thugs, street fighting, and I've never been in a street fight. I hope I'm never in a street fight. And I don't groove on a guy being on the ground and then you're pummeling him.
Have
I
you
don't.
watched it?
I watched it. I watched it.
It
It does not set my fire
Yeah,
engine
it's
going.
not. I mean, they have bare knuckled fighting leagues, which is more the street fighting. These guys are precision people. I mean, when they
But
get
don't
on the
say it's not
ground,
a street fight.
when they like the other night in that fight, one of those fights, the arm bar was used and or all these different like things you do with your legs around the guy's head and how they know,
A leg
they're
lock.
setting up one move to set up another move. But the I mean, they got, I don't know how many ounces those gloves are, but they're padded, not like a boxing glove, but they're padded over the knuckles because the guy getting hurt nor the guy doing the hitting can survive if you didn't have something there to protect yourself.
Mm.
But it was brutal.
Did they walk out of the White House
They walked out of the White House, yeah,
to
and they
come
had
out
huh?
to the ring? Hmm.
They and each time, and there were like 14 or 12 or 14 fighters throughout the night, and they had someone first responder with them, and I think somebody from the military with them when they walked out. It was quite the show. There were 4,300 seats right there on the South Lawn. Those were all given to veterans and first responders and those sorts of people. Then just by the Washington Monument there's a park called the Ellipse, and there were 80,000 people there. And so it was quite the spectacle.
I must be missing something, or maybe I'm just not wired right, or maybe I'm not man enough. I don't know, but
Well, probably the latter.
likely the latter.
Yeah, but you don't get into it. Sonia loves it. My wife's 5'3" and is as petite is, and she loves that stuff.
What else we got?
Let's see. Chip Roy. I want to share with you Chip Roy, our own Chip Roy here in the state of Texas. who lost in a race to be the Texas AG. He lost the primary, but he has proposed something I wanted to share with you. Of course, term limits. If I had to identify 4 or 5 anchors that are making politics awful these years, well, it's always made them awful, but particularly these years, these days, the politics is so bad. I believe it's the lack of term limits. So Chip Roy has come out and said he has fielded a proposal to cut off pay and power from House and Senate lawmakers once they've served 12 years in their respective chamber. So a member of
So you can
Congress,
still have the job for no pay?
yeah, so a member of Congress, including a delegate or resident commissioner to the Congress, who has served 12 years or more cumulative years in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, as the case may be, may not on or not may as the case may be, may not on and after the date that the member reaches 12 years of service uh, in either house,
Of combined time for both of them?
whatever, cumulative 12 hours, no matter where you've
Yeah,
served,
okay.
because some guys do
Yeah,
start in the House, go to
right.
Senate. Uh, they will not be eligible for any covered benefits described in the subsection, which is their perks and things they get. Under the proposal, such long-serving lawmakers would no longer be eligible for pay and would no longer be eligible to serve in the House and Senate leadership posts, or as the chair or ranking member or standing or selected committees. So they can continue to be a representative or senator, but after 12 years, they no longer get paid. They can't serve as any leader or chair of any committee. And I think that was pretty much it. So
Did you hear about Mitch McConnell back in
yeah,
the hospital?
yeah. I mean, Mitch
Is
McConnell
he is he out?
I don't know,
I don't
but
know.
he's the prime example. I don't care a bit
Yeah,
for Mitch McConnell.
I don't either.
I don't want him to die and be sick and die, but I think he's the poster child, poster boy for term limits. I mean, he's 84 years
Well,
old.
right behind Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's a little more cogent and coherent, which isn't saying much, than Mitch McConnell or
Right.
Biden. But Mitch McConnell was so confused the other day in leading a committee, he didn't know what day it was. So I think Chip Roy's onto something. Challenge is getting it passed by people who it would affect. Um, so I wanted to share that with you. How about the in Boston? The two 14-year-olds, I think they're both 14 years old. One of them has been caught robbing. Here's the headline. Boston police arrest 14-year-old after masked suspects allegedly robbed siblings' lemonade stand.
Siblings, that's their
A
brothers and sisters.
14-year-old suspect has been arrested in connection with an armed robbery last week that targeted a children's lemonade stand in South Boston. The robbery happened Wednesday afternoon near 9th Street, blah, blah, blah. Officials said the arrested suspect is facing multiple firearm-related charges, including 2 counts of armed robbery and 2 counts of unlawful possession of a firearm.
They robbed them with firearms?
Yeah, he had a gun. He got $50.
Oh my
The
gosh.
suspects allegedly targeted a lemonade stand run by an 11-year-old girl and her 12-year-old brother.
That's just
2
sad.
dudes, little thugs, drive up or ride up on their bicycle, rob it by showing a gun, flee. One of them gets caught. They're going to find the other one.
So we
Yeah,
have
they
one on the
grabbed the
run.
cash box, one with a black firearm tucked into his waistband, and they got $50. Police said the 14-year-old suspect was arrested Friday after the police released surveillance video and photos of the 2 suspects Thursday afternoon. In the video, the suspects were seen wearing black face coverings, with one also carrying a black backpack and a pink box believed to be containing the cash. Can you
That's
believe that?
insane. That is insane.
That's a tarnation if there ever was a tarnation. All right. Let's see. End of the war. So we'll see. It's a paper. If you think about it, it's a performance-based agreement that says the only way Iran gets anything out of the deal is that they meet the demands that's put before them. So it's like a sales, you reach a certain sales revenue total that you sold and you get this. In Iran's case, you do not do this and we will do this.
This is what happens when you have a successful businessman now in politics applying business principles
Yeah.
to politics.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
so we'll see. We'll
Uh,
see. But I think I had to fill up yesterday. I did it over there by my house. It was $3.23. So I'll look at what it is today each time I go home. We did buy a BJ's
yeah,
membership, and so we're going to get the BJ's
the
gas, which is
15.
pretty cheap,
Yeah.
or cheaper. So there you have it with respect to that. How about the Major League?
But one thing there, that thing was announced on Sunday.
Mhm.
I'm looking for the headline in the paper. No,
What paper are you talking about?
Dallas Morning News.
Yeah.
They had about 40% of the page was a picture of Orange Mania from the Netherlands team, and then of course the required article about the Stars moving, and two or three other things. Page 2, no. 3, no. 4, no. 5, no.
Yeah.
It's on page 7.
Yeah, I mean, it reflects the Dallas Morning News being left now and woke.
Right.
It drives me nuts. But uh, and I heard it was Joe Scarborough say that Iran is better off now than they ever were, and they won this. And I'm thinking, are you that sold out to any degree of decency? They have nothing. They have nothing. Trump said we were bringing out millions and millions of barrels of oil during the ceasefire, and Iran could not do one thing about it. They have no radar, they have no communications, they have no fighting means. It's just the left has lost their mind. But anyway, glad to see the war come to an end. I think Trump has this laid out exactly the timeline he wants leading into the midterms, and we'll see. Uh, Major League Baseball is about to tick me off. Now, I already believe the NFL. I know it's not a stretch, but is woke. The NFL's woke. Can we agree on that? Yes, the NFL's woke.
Yeah.
Uh, Largely because of Roger Goodell, who's a liberal. All right, the commissioner. Then you have Major League Baseball, which showed. Remember a few years ago when Atlanta was going to host the All-Star game, and the governor Trump and others were claiming that there was wrongdoing with the elections and things. And Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, pulled the All-Star game from Atlanta.
And brought it
It
here.
wasn't here, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a sign that they're woke. And then they continue to have this pride crap. Well, anyway, the San Francisco Giants, players of the San Francisco Giants, and I assume there are other players in the league, but this is all focused on the San Francisco Giants. There are a number of players there that said, look, we're having to wear these uniforms. We can't just wear whatever uniform we want to wear if we're going to play or not get fined or kicked out or whatever. So we have to wear this pride nonsense. We're going to write our ethos, if you will, or our ism, what we believe on our hat. So they put, well, I don't know exactly, but scripture or numbers or what have you, and Major League Baseball has told them don't do it anymore. So the question is, well, wait a minute. The Major League Baseball uh, leadership team says we're going to force our players to recognize a way of life for a small percent of America, but then we're not going to allow our players to be able to. We're going to make the players espouse that way of life because of what they're wearing, even though they don't want to wear it, and we're going to punish them for being able to share or for wanting to share what they do believe. Now, I'm with the players. I know you have a different take on it, but if I'm in a league and somebody told me, hey, this is what I have to wear, and I'm having to wear it because or due to something I totally don't believe in, then I've got to somehow make sure people know that. Now, I could have an interview. I could do, but they put right stuff on their hats a lot, but in the MLB hasn't really done anything about it when they recognize a player that had a tragedy or whatever. There was a player who lost his baby, the Dodgers. I think it was the Dodgers, and a lot of players around the league put the guy's name or his number on their hats. No word, no problem, no big deal. It gets to scripture, and suddenly it's a problem.
Yeah. We've just got this overlap between politics and money and sports. And I'm not in favor of the great little expressions on the back of the helmets in the football stadiums. I'm not in favor of the expressions in the end zones in the football stadiums.
Mhm.
I'm not in favor of special nights honoring
Yeah.
special groups. And I'm not hugely in favor of anybody scribbling all over their own hat. And I don't know what the rules are, but I don't think it's well endorsed. And I think normally if you put a number on for somebody who's passed away, I think you probably have to get permission for that. And I think the guy probably didn't get permission. But I'm telling you what, it's such a money grab in the advertising world, in the sports world. And you know that the World Cup here in town is not at AT&T Stadium, it's at Dallas Stadium. You know that, don't you?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
They're not allowing AT&T to use their name?
Not only AT&T, listen to this. And I did some deep research on it because I've been aware for some time that this stadium was going to be called Dallas Stadium. We've got 16 World Cup games in North America, 3 in Mexico, 2 in Canada,
Mhm.
11 in the United States. Of those 16, 2 stadiums were allowed to keep their name. One is BC up in British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada.
Yeah.
And the other is Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. And the only reason that Mercedes-Benz didn't have to change is it was determined that it would cause massive, irreparable damage to take off that logo. But all these other stadiums, Gillette Stadium, you know, AT&T, and go on and on and on. They've all got corporate sponsors. And the mighty, mighty FIFA is somewhat like the mighty, mighty International Olympic Committee. Bucks, 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 bucks. And we'll be darned if we're going to get
Yeah.
you, these sponsors who paid for the stadium rights. And that stadium rights would include when boxing was there, when
Yeah.
when Bob Dylan's there.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. But for the mighty, mighty FIFA, it's covered
Yeah,
up.
I mean, they may want they can call it whatever they want to. Most people are going to know it as AT&T Stadium, and you can't put a banner big enough to put over the AT&T Stadium at the top of the thing. I don't think.
Exactly. That's the
So,
deal. That's the deal.
you know, anyway, that's interesting. I have a problem with Major League Baseball, and
I think the Rangers are the only team or one of the few
one of
teams.
9
Oh, okay. Well, never
that
mind.
said we're not recognizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was only one.
No. Well, you know what? That may be hockey I'm thinking of that had 6 or 9, but yeah, maybe
6 or 9 what?
the teams that said we're not recognizing Pride Night.
Oh,
So congratulations to the
Rangers.
Rangers. I mean, I just think it's play baseball. You know, play baseball and don't punish a player who's being compelled or provoked to do something because you're forced him to do it. And I don't like. I'm not wearing rainbow stuff. I don't care who tells me what to wear. I'm not wearing. Just like I wouldn't wear a turban around town. Just like I wouldn't wear uh, an Auburn hat around town. I'm not going to recognize something that I don't believe in. Period. And that's just the way it is.
I got a couple quick Tarnations,
All right.
and Sam's going to bring it up on the screen in a second. You know, Scott is an outstanding writer. I consider myself an adequate poet. I think we both have pretty strong literary and vocabulary skills. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
The other and I can remember once, maybe twice, calling you out on a word you used, and the other day you called me out on a word I used,
I don't remember.
and I gave a little bit of resistance, and I said I'm not fighting this out right now, but it was on lived versus lived,
I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember.
and so I said something was long lived. You go long lived, it's lived. I go, why do you say that? I say, I kind of like the snotty sound of the other way. So I did go and look it up, and he's got it right here out of
I've never heard it said long lived.
yeah.
lived, lived,
That's you can say lived live,
Yeah, that's what I said. And
but
then
I
go
don't know if
the
you put them together.
the other one
lived,
is the other one's
lived,
lived. It's two acceptable pronunciations of that word spelled lived.
I'm telling you,
No, don't.
Jeffrey,
That's the Collins Dictionary.
that
That's
I
the Collins
believe
Dictionary.
that, but you didn't ask it to say how do you pronounce long live? How do you pronounce LOGNGLIVED. You ask it to give your expressions or
It's the
of the word.
context. It's whether you use it as an adjective or a verb.
You got to
Allows
tell
you
me you've never heard
Lived.
anybody in your life
live.
say he lived he uh
You wouldn't say
long
he lived a long life.
you wouldn't say he long lived something or he long.
However, in the sentence that I used, it worked,
There you go.
and it's legit.
All right, it's legit.
Here's the other thing. Sta- this will tie in with the poem I'm doing later on called Bronze History, a poem about all the statues going down in 2020. And so we've got two significant statues outside of the American Airlines Arena. They're up by the street. First, there was the Nowitzki with the
Yeah.
fadeaway, and then there's a nice Mike Badano with his jersey fluttering in the breeze.
Yep.
They're going with the team to the new arenas that's been determined,
Good.
all set.
They should.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I would riot if they didn't.
Well,
At
yeah,
least,
and
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that's locked up early.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I
That's locked up
still
and decided.
can't
I wonder how
imagine.
you move those big old things, man.
Carefully.
And let's do
Yeah.
one other thing. What about Sorsby going for the supplemental draft?
Yeah,
Well, here's
it
the
only
deal.
happens when they need it to happen.
Yeah, it's only if you have people apply, and you have to have certain restrictions,
Reasons, yeah.
basically saying there's a reason I can't be in the regular draft, and it's that you've been not allowed, and you got to have your application in by the 22nd of June. It comes 7 days before training camp starts in July. They give up for people to get you. They have to give up draft choices, and it's kind of like an auction. You know, you're the Patriots say it's like a silent auction. I'm in for a seventh, and then the word comes out. And I'm in for a fifth. I'm in for a third.
Yeah.
I'm in, and whoever gets you, gets you. And if not, you become an unrestricted free agent. And the Texas Tech, what's the name of that big support guy who's also the head of the trustees? Is it Cooper?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's a billionaire.
He's a big
Yeah.
oil man billionaire.
He's the one causing so much problem, I think.
And guess what? He said, well, we're fully supportive of him going into the supplemental draft. He didn't really have another choice. And he's keeping his NIL 5 million.
Yeah.
And then when he goes, he gets a rookie structured salary.
Yeah, I think Brendan Sorsby, I've said it before, believe in redemption. The guy ought to be given a chance to redeem himself. He's a good quarterback, and somebody's going to pick him up.
Yeah.
I think Texas Tech would be a better team with him there than not, but we'll see what happens.
So NFL teams give up future draft picks.
Next year's 27s.
So and who's it go to if they get the player? Does it just go to the NFL? The picks?
Yeah, I think it's a bit complicated.
Yeah,
but
I've never heard of a supplemental
because
draft,
it just
so.
doesn't happen. Last
Yeah.
time it happened was 2019.
No, I think it was 23, or it might have been 19.
19.
I think it was 2019.
19 was
one.
the last, but 23 was the last time anybody was picked. 19 was the last time before that they had it.
Okay.
All right, we're running out of time here. I think what we're going to do is hold off on. We have a whole segment on Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony. I think we're going to save that until Thursday because some videos I want to show you. We want to show you. Suffice it to say that we are, as we've said in some of our content, and that we went out yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, Friday. That Austin Metcalf did not deserve to be stabbed. Did not deserve to be killed. Obviously, Carmelo Anthony is guilty of sin, and all you clowns who want to go out there and make excuses for him, it's just you're indicative of what's wrong with America. As is he, Carmelo Anthony. He did not he did not have a situation where he was defending himself to the point where his life was in danger, which is the stand your ground standard. If you're using self-defense, legitimately means that your life was in danger of being over. So
Yeah.
it's not somebody walks up and pushes you, uh, and it's certainly not when you're at a place where you shouldn't be and are being cocky and have a knife. And I mean, it's just, I mean, we got more to say, as do
Yeah.
some people that will surprise you when we show you
And
the.
in our Substacks, you wrote an essay, I wrote a poem, you wrote an essay, I wrote a poem on um, the justice and about the redemption.
Yep,
Well,
exactly. A newly seated county commissioner, Matthew Zajic, is now facing a Class B misdemeanor theft charge here in Ellis County after an incident in Ennis. The case is still under investigation, and let's be clear from the beginning. Uh, Zajic is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. That matters. We believe in due process around here, but due process does not require political blindness. It does not require voters to pretend this is normal. And it certainly does not require Ellis County residents to shrug their shoulders and say, well, these things happen. No, they don't just happen. Not when you're asking people to trust you with public office. This is not a story about perfection. None of us are perfect. This is about judgment. It is about character. It is about whether people who ask for power understand the weight of the position they are seeking. Because public office is not a trophy, it is not a title, it is not a reward for surviving a primary or getting the right people to back you. Public office is a trust. And when that trust is damaged before the ink is barely dry on the oath of office, the people have a right to be angry. They have a right to ask hard questions. They have a right to wonder how we got here. And that brings us to the bigger issue. This is not just about Matt Zajic. This is about the political machine, the local party structure, the candidate recruitment, the vetting, the infighting, and the embarrassing habit of too many people looking the other way as long as there's an R next to someone's name. Republicans talk a lot about accountability. Good, then let's have some. Republicans talk a lot about character. Great, then let's expect some. Republicans talk a lot about personal responsibility. Wonderful, then let's apply it to our own side too. Because if the standard is only enforced against political opponents, then it is not a standard, it is a weapon. Ellis County deserves better than this. The voters deserve better than this. And the good, decent Republicans who care about this county deserve better than another controversy, another excuse, and another round of political finger pointing. So today, we're going to talk about what happened, why it matters, what it says about local leadership, and why this moment should be a wake up call because candidates should be scrutinized before they elected, not after they are arrested. And in my view, Matthew Zajic should resign right now.
and that is a great overview to what happened, which he carefully teased the audience of not telling
So
them
real
what it
quick,
was.
we got let's say we have
3 minutes.
minutes.
5 minutes.
Matthew Zajic, who just was sworn in as the new county commissioner in precinct 2, which includes the swath of it is down through Ennis. Uh, he would have taken over on January the 1st, but because the former county commissioner Elaine Grayson, who I know personally and I know well, resigned because of more nonsense going on by the GOP in town and by some pretty uh, nasty office holders and candidates. Travis Smith is one of them, just to say that.
In
But
case you people think all we do is bash liberals, listen up.
yeah, so Matthew Zajic won the position in an overwhelming 168% of the vote to be a county commissioner 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks later, almost to the hour after doing those swearing ins or oaths, Matthew Zajic went to, in his county provided vehicle, went to the Walmart in Ennis last Thursday evening, uh, bagged a bunch of stuff or put a bunch of stuff in his cart, went to the self checkout, proceeded to try to get out of Walmart without paying for some steaks. Walmart, as they usually do, busted him, confronted him. He said he would correct it. And in the process of trying to correct it, he actually did it again. And these are reports by the Ennis Police Department and others. We've reported on it from the get go. And so Matthew Zajic was arrested and has been charged with stealing approximately $250 worth of steaks, the kind you eat. Matthew Zajic is a farmer, presumably has access to his own steaks. but he was accused of stealing these steaks from Walmart, and it's on video and witnesses and so on and so forth. So there you have it. And I consider myself, uh, and I'm just speaking for myself, nobody else on the show, to be a conservative with a capital C. I'm not necessarily a Republican because I don't believe this is a perfect example of it, but Republicans as a party have gone wayward. I am a conservative just in how I live my life. So so we say to ourselves, as many are, what in the world? If there was ever a tarnation, that's it. The guy's getting paid somewhere. I think those jobs are 100 grand, give or take a bit. But he's stealing, accused of stealing from Walmart, uh, some food, $250 worth of food.
What's equally troublesome is beyond the theft, the stupidity, absolute unmitigated stupidity of running it through again and think that nobody. Do you think nobody's watching it this time or
Yeah, I
something?
don't know.
I mean, how dumb can you
Truth
be?
be known, I found out about this not long after it happened Thursday evening, and responded to it. We put out a story that basically said one of the commissioners has been accused or has been arrested and accused. We didn't name the commissioner because we didn't think that would be fair, but we wanted to know wanted our community to know that something was happening in real time. And so I reached out. I called Matthew Zajic. I texted Matthew Zajic, and that was Thursday evening. I still haven't heard from him. That's his right. He doesn't have to respond to me at all. But he leaves the narrative out there to be told. Uh, and so I'm troubled by, as are many, and I do believe as both a constituent and publisher of the local media outlet that he ought to resign. He's got to resign. He can't be accused of even accused is enough, but certainly being caught doing it, if it turns out that everything that we've reported, which I'm sure that it is true, he can't be in charge of a multi-million dollar budget after having been caught trying to steal $250 worth of food, allegedly from Walmart. And so what do you do? If that's me, uh, I'm coming out with a statement uh, and and basically resigning. And just like Lane Grayson did. Now let me make something clear to you yahoos out there that think you know what went on with Lane Grayson. First of all, what you think went on with Lane Grayson is simply what you think went on. If you want to believe people like Travis Smith and other uh, what I think of as being bad actors, bad players, then you're at risk of walking away not knowing the truth. And so Lane Grayson was, in my opinion, leading to be county judge, was going to have to resign his post as commissioner of precinct 2 to be county judge, but because of some accusations and some other stuff uh, that has not been reported and verified publicly, Lane Grayson did the right thing for him and his family to to I guess deal with it, and he
Yeah.
resigned. So that's how Matthew Zajic ended up in the role that he's in. So I want to emphasize to people that until you hear from Lane Grayson, or you hear from verified or of verified reports about what happened with Lane Grayson, you don't know what happened. Just like I don't know what happened unless Lane uh, goes into great detail with me. And if he does, and it's off the record, then I'm honoring that. But for people to, particularly on Facebook, to just post, Lane Grayson did this, Lane Grayson did that, uh, it's 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 slander, it's defamation, it's libel because you don't
Speculation.
know. The essence of the Lane Grayson issue, and I'll shut up about it, is that Lane Grayson resigned. There is no report anywhere about any illegal activity. There is no indictment. There is no uh, uh, police reports. There are no any other items or factors or variables that we can look at and say, well, here's what happened. So when you hear somebody say something negative about Lane Grayson, they don't know what they're talking about. They simply don't. So to that end, I have asked Lane to come on to our show at any point that he would like to, and I think he does, because Lane has handled this the right way. He's gone quiet and he's he's focused on his family, a wonderful family, and but at some point he will have, if he doesn't already, the desire to set the record straight, and to the extent that he wants to, I've invited him here, and when he says he's ready, then he'll be here, and you'll hear it only here, and you'll hear directly from the horse's mouth. Back to Matthew Zajic. Matthew Zajic has gone quiet. There is no, I haven't seen anything put out by him. There is a commissioner's court next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, at which time this will have to be addressed some way or another, I would think. I mean, if I'm the other commissioners, or if I'm John Ray, the county judge, I don't, maybe it's wiser to not have any discussion about it, but I think there are going to be people at the commissioner's hearing to want to hear it addressed. So
spare yourself the trouble and just bow out. That's what I say.
yeah, it's time for Matthew Zajic to go, and then we'll have more about it in the coming shows. All right. Poet time.
One of my favorite poems all time, written July 9th, 2020, in the tumultuous summer of 2020, because I think these are four of the nicest lines I've ever put together in my life. It's called Bronze History Ode to Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, written in 1953. Statues are really books unsaid. They show us, statues are really books unread. They show us all the words unsaid. No longer a questionable mystery, they give us a beautiful bronzed history. It's okay if the subject was bad, even better if it makes you mad. We just need a big plaque to bring the full story back. Let all who then read understand the terrible deed. We must learn from our past, not topple or blast. Don't let books be the next thing to go. We'll lose all the great things we know. Read Fahrenheit 451. Look out, it's ready to come. Better read it again. We're about to be then. I'm growing scared to write anything. Watch out for the growing left wing, lest I offend with no chance to defend. Then, when thoughts are no longer eagle, kiss goodbye to your almighty eagle. If we
There you
forget
go.
all of our past, this nation has no chance.
Very good. Very, very good. All
Today
right.
in history,
Today in history. Let's do it.
here we be.
Rapid fire.
All right.
Opportunity for a bonus on this out the gate because I jumped in Jeopardy style and gave the answer when she was reading the question. Accepting the Illinois Republican Party's nomination for Senate, blank said the issue of slavery in the United States should be resolved, declaring a house divided against itself cannot stand.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln,
Abe Lincoln.
you can have it. Designer LaMarcus Thompson opened the first commercially successful roller coaster known as the Switchback Railway in Coney Island, New York.
Nice. Sammy.
I don't know where we just went. 1872.
1910.
1884 gets you in.
No,
72.
By,
I'm sorry.
uh,
I'm sorry. I did my math wrong.
almost.
The Ford Motor Company was incorporated in Detroit, Michigan,
Oh, yeah. What was the last one?
1884.
This gotta be 1892.
1922.
1903. President Franklin
Oh.
D. Roosevelt signed the Glass-Steagall Act, the Glass-Steagall Act into law, creating the Federal Deposit Insurance Company, sometimes called the FDIC, to bolster public confidence in the U.S. banking system.
1919.
1934.
Close, 33, in the heart of the Depression, early. Soviet dancer and choreography Rudolf Nureyev defected to the West, seeking asylum in Paris during a tour by the Kirov Ballet.
1940.
62.
61, way to work it. The world's first female traveler. We got two Russians in a row in this. Valentina Tereshkova, 26, was launched into orbit by the Soviet Union aboard Vostok 6. Tereshkova spent 71 hours in flight, circling the Earth 48 times before returning safely.
Why?
That was before we.
Yeah.
That was what we had to do.
65.
78.
63.
There we
Good
go.
work.
Good, Sam.
Thousands of black students in Johannesburg South Weto Township demonstrated against the imposition of Dutch-based Afrikaans language in the schools. Police opened fire on the students. This is so confusing. Killing at least 176 and as many as 700. I guess they don't have a good number
Yeah, I guess.
between those two.
Well, I guess.
99.
96.
76.
Wow.
President Jimmy Carter and the Panamanian leader Omar Torrijos signed the instruments of ratification of the Panama Canal Treaties during a ceremony in Panama City.
94.
78.
78 for the bonus.
Booyah.
Mm.
Here.
Real estate mogul Donald Trump launched his successful campaign for the presidency of the United States with a speech at, of course, Trump Tower in Manhattan.
2015.
2015.
Boha.
Yeah, ha ha.
Got it.
I went 16. I was sorry.
All right, so
There you go.
Samuel. I was 8 and 4.
Nice.
I got 4.
All right, our true facts that sound like you know what. Let me give you one, and then we'll be done. All right, you ready? True or false? More than 1% of the United States population is currently in jail.
Less than 1%?
More.
There are 338 million people, or say 335 million, somewhere in that neighborhood. People live in the United States. More than 1% of the United States population is currently in jail.
I got mine.
True or false?
Well, if you take prisons and you take jails, I'm going to go true.
I said true.
False, but it's not far off. Estimate place the percentage of Americans in jail at any one time at 0.9%.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
You still got it wrong.
I know we still got it wrong.
All right, so there
Thank
you
you for
have
the
it. We are
reminder.
sponsored by Hoosier Custom Meats of Italy, Texas. Speaking of beef, if you want some, Hoosier's Custom Meats, the Hoosier family, do some great stuff down there. Magic. So if you like steaks, jerky, you name it, burgers,
And buy
get
it.
them.
Buy it. Don't go down there and try to steal it.
Yeah, no, buy it. Yeah,
Buy
it
it.
comes in a very nice package. They got some stuff you can buy, apparel and all that. But anyway, check them out. They're in Italy, Texas. Sammy shows them on the screen. Check them out. Tell them the boys from GGN sent you. That's it for today. We'll be back Thursday with more on some of the things we talked about today and even more.
And as always, have a great day and try to put a smile on someone's face today. And I'm telling you what, if we didn't put a smile on anybody's face today, you're flat out a grump.
You're just grumpy.
You're just a grump.